Hey, everybody, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch. I'm going to tell you the truth about the NCAA tournament. I love it. My kind of, my time of year. I'm going to break down, this is the abbreviated version because after this weekend, when you get to Sweet 16, I could really dig in. You could see the upsets, you could see the carnage of the possible mid-majors. I filled out my bracket. It was chalk. Not smart. Not smart at all because with all the shaky play, it's going to make for a great tournament because all the teams are vulnerable. Alabama, even the great ones, the really good ones. But the mid majors, those seniors that have been waiting all year to get on the spotlight, they haven't been on TV. They're going to show these AAU freshman sensation blue bloods what college basketball is all about. That's what makes me nervous. I filled out my bracket, but I'm gonna take a stab at it. The East. I like. I don't like Purdue. Purdue. I'm rooting for Purdue. I love the big. I love Edie. So I'm be rooting for Purdue, but Memphis is going to be Purdue. Memphis is too athletic. They have found themselves. Let me tell you something. Memphis has really, 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 really found themselves. Kendrick Davis is a stud. I believe he was injured. He's back. Uh, this is a chance for Penny Hardaway to make a stamp in their tournament. But this is all about Duke. This region. Duke is going to come to Madison Square Garden. They're going to win. I don't root for Duke. I don't think much of Duke. I'm tired of the Duke experience, but this show Tell the Truth Sports Radio. And I feel like the committee, Duke got a 5 seed, but it's a different kind of 5 seed. They looked out Duke. They took care of Duke. They're going to beat Tennessee. I guess Tennessee's going to beat Louisiana. And Tennessee's not. Matt Barnes, Barnes is not a coach that wins a lot in a tournament. They're going to play Duke. And Oral Roberts, I love Oral Roberts. And I would have had them making a little bit of run, but they're playing Duke. And Duke is the thing that makes Duke really good is Duke is getting good balanced scoring uh, from Lively, from Kyle Filipowski, who is really, and you know what he is? He's that tall, versatile guard that could shoot, that drives the basket, really good feel of the game. That's the kind of guy you can make a good run with, like with Miller in Alabama and Roach playing well. And then Whitehead's back. So they're rounding into shape. They're really, really playing good. They only lost one time when their team was complete all year, and they got looked out. And my team that I root for because I love Calipari's Kentucky. I'm nervous about the Providence game. This first round game makes me nervous. I'm gonna pick them, and I'm gonna pick them against Kansas State. I'm gonna have them in the Sweet 16. Guard play. I love the guard play from Kentucky. You know, Shibwe, of course, he's gonna ball out. Oh, of course. You know, I got respect for how they play the game. And Wallace is a big key. Case and Wallace is good. Their starting five is really good, but I just I got him going to Sweet 16 because Calipari has done a good job. He's not deep, but he said, "Listen, I'm gonna just play these five. I'm gonna play my starters. I don't think that's gonna last past Sweet 16. Roll the dice and have them beat a really, really good Kansas State team with Powell at the guard. They're really good on the boards, but Kentucky's good on the boards. And I do like Kansas State a lot. I like them a lot. Uh, I really do. It's just that Noel. I love Noel because he's a Jersey guy. He really developed good. He's third team All American. I do like their team, and I like Emmanuel Miller. I mean, not Emmanuel Miller. I like Keontae Johnson. I like Keontae Johnson. They got star power. I'm rolling the dice with Kentucky because if you got any sense in your head, you probably want to pick TCU, but I'm going on a hunch that Kentucky, after that last year losing to St. Peter's, they're going to make a run. I'm a, I'm a come on, Calipari. I love you, man. You could do it. Make a run to Sweet 16. He's got a lot of criticism, and it'd be good to see him win one more national championship. Not this year, but maybe next year with the recruits coming in. But I got Duke coming out of the East overall. In the South, I have Alabama coming out. I have Alabama versus Baylor. Baylor is Keontae George healthy. I need him healthy. I got to see if he is. And Keontae George is the wild card. If he plays like the NBA first round draft pick, they could make a run, beat Alabama. Because I love Pryor and Flagler and the rest of those dudes, and they ball out. And I love Scott Drew as a coach, but I got Alabama, and the wild card is that my guy is playing a lot better. You know, you got Brandon Miller, of course, Brandon Miller, but my guy is playing a lot better. That's Javon Quinterly, and he's a wild card. He's a senior to go along with Miller and Conley, who's going to be a first round pick. Conley's underrated. You're going to see Noah Conley on stage because you're talking about Brandon Miller and Quinterly and Sears, who can hit three. They need Sears to hit consistently 3-point shots. He can't go 1 for 5 from three. And if they do that, they're going to the Final Four. And I'm going to probably pick them to win the whole thing and be a basketball power. Usually it's the football power. The football team's going to win it all the following year. There's going to be that kind of year for the Crimson Tide. I do believe that. In the Midwest, I like Houston because I believe Sasser said he's playing. As long as Sasser's playing with the rest of those dudes, okay, they lost to a hot Memphis team, but Sasser was compromised. But as long as you got Roberts, as long as you got Jamal Shedd and Sasser, two big, strong guards in the backcourt that could drive, that could shoot, they're an explosive backcourt. They could win the national championship. Their Final Fours in Houston. I got them playing Texas. Do not be surprised if Buzz Peterson, Texas A&M, makes a run, even to the Final Four. But I'm going to go with Texas, and their coach should get an extension. I got them playing Houston, the old-fashioned Southwest Conference matchup, and I got the Houston Cougars marching on. In the West, I have TCU. TCU's going to make a run. They're going to beat UCLA. And I got Kansas. Arkansas could upset Kansas. I can see Arkansas and TCU in the final. I don't trust Kansas could win the whole thing again with that talent, Grady Dick and the players that they had in the last year's national championship combined, and Collins and those dudes. Yeah, of course. But there's just too many of these. I mean, Wilson, I'm sorry. Jalen Wilson. But there's too many of these clunkers they played this year. I don't trust them. I like Arkansas to pull off the upset. And I like TCU to get to the Final Four. I love Jamie Dixon. I love this team. Miles is a I don't know if he's an NBA player, but as a college player, he's just explosive. He's got as quick a first step as you could get. They're hard nosed. I like their bench, how excited their bench gets during the game. I was watching them in the tournament. I just like everything about TCU. Emmanuel Miller on defense. I'm riding I'm riding the Horned Frogs all the way to Houston. So there you have it. I will have Duke, Alabama, and TCU in Houston. I got Alabama versus Houston. I got Alabama. Risky beating Houston. That's risky. On Houston's home court. Now, they went to Houston's home court and squeaked out a win. So they're not going to be afraid. I'm just going to ride the Crimson Tide that they have enough fans that it won't be so bad where it's pro Houston. But I'm picking that. Now, before I go, do not be surprised if you see about 5 or 6 mid-majors, Grand Canyon, Texas, Grand Canyon, Charleston, Fulman, UC Santa Barbara, Utah State, Princeton against Arizona ain't gonna be easy. You don't be surprised if you see these mid-majors make a long run because every one of these top teams have issues. There's no really clear-cut team. And I'm hoping that because this is Timmy's last year, that Gonzaga can make a run. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Gonzaga gets to the Final Four. I love Mark Few, but I can't because they're always one athlete short. But there are my picks.